Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today I'm going to give you a look inside at the single dad on an off-grid homestead in the kitchen for a day. Usually Fridays are the days where I'm in the kitchen doing a lot of prep work. We have dinner together as a family on Friday. My in-laws come over for dinner and Joanne brings a delicious dessert. And so I'm usually responsible for the actual dinner, and I've got a lot of stuff to do today. And so I figured because I have a lot of stuff to do today, I would bring you along with me and I can show you what I'm doing. So Jaimie was always the one who was in the kitchen all the time, and she made delicious foods, and I still want delicious foods, wholesome foods that I can give to my kids, and so I don't mind taking on that role as best as I can. And so I'm going to show you what I got today. First off, a delicious loaf of bread. This is amazing bread. I love making bread, and it looks so good. Doesn't that look good? It's cooled off now, and we're gonna have some of this tonight for dinner. And I'll probably keep half, and usually I give half to my in-laws. And so that's straight out of the oven. Looks absolutely gorgeous, and the crust is so crispy and crunchy. It's so amazing. Anyway, so that's first thing first today. I got that done early this morning, and then the rest of today we're gonna be using. We're going to be boiling these eggs. We have an abundance of eggs right now, and whenever we have an abundance of eggs, we make hard-boiled eggs so that we can pickle them and then store them for later consumption. So I've got a bunch of eggs I need to boil today. I'm going to pickle those. I'm going to make cheese and butter. I have fresh raw milk that was delivered yesterday from a neighbor who has her own milk cows, and we buy that once a week. And so this is going to be turned into butter and cheese, and this butter and cheese will be what we use throughout the week for different meals, for different meal prep, that butter and cheese. And then also, I have my Misfits box. So we don't have anything growing in the garden right now. It's early spring. Actually, it's technically still winter time for another day or so. And until I get my own greens growing, I like ordering from Misfits Market. I gave them a plug in my last video. I don't get any of the discounts if you use the links below. All my patrons do. So what you're really doing is you're supporting the people who support our homestead. So if you would like fresh, organic vegetables delivered to your door for a super cheap price compared to what you're going to pay at the store, any store, check out Misfits Markets. All of my patron links are down in the description below. If you use one of their links, you're going to get a discount of like $10 off on your first order. So it's definitely worth using. Check that out. Links in the description below. And we're going to take all of that stuff, all those veggies. I have some kale, a tomato, some other types of lettuces, an onion, and a green pepper. We're going to take that. We're going to make it a scrumptious salad for tonight's dinner. And then I have a roasted chicken we're going to have for tonight's dinner. The chicken is defrosting right now in the sink. That's store-bought. I didn't kill one of our chickens. We don't really have any meat birds. We just have egg layers. So we're going to have a roasted chicken, salad, and some amazing bread tonight for dinner. And then I'm sure Joanne will bring a delicious dessert. So we have a long day ahead of us. Let's get started. Any scraps that we have left over always go to the chickens. That is egg production. Okay, that salad's done. All I need to do is toss it later, add some cheese and some spices. I like to put some salt and pepper in my salads and a little bit of Slap Your Mama. I love this stuff. It works great on everything. You can put it on your salads too. And it's just, oh yeah, you gotta have some Slap Your Mama. And I'll put a little Parmesan cheese in that and then have a variety of dressings. So that'll be a great, and probably I'll have some left over for tomorrow's lunch. So yeah, it's a big salad, I'll have leftovers. So eggs or milk? I think I'm gonna do the milk first. That way, when I make the cheese, it'll have time to harden up a little bit so that it's easily shreddable over the salad that I just made. So by time tonight for dinner, that cheese will be hardened. I can shred it. So we'll go ahead and do these last. So first things first, we're going to scoop off the cream on top of the milk that's settled to the top. You can eat it. I don't know if you can see there or not, but there's a good amount of cream on top of this milk. And so I'm going to open that up and put that into my solar-powered Ninja. I love this Ninja. It makes making butter super, super easy. So I take the cream, throw it in there, turn on the Ninja, and like a minute or so later, it's finished. Okay, so I know that some of you guys would be horrified by what I'm about to do, and that's to pour the buttermilk down the drain. But listen, guys, I don't have time for that. So what I'm doing, I'm just mashing that butter into one big clump as best as I can, and then I'm going to pour off the buttermilk. Now, what's left behind is butter. And so what I'm going to do is keep mashing this butter because there's still buttermilk in there. And at the same time, I like a little bit of salted butter, so I'm going to add salt to this to make it more of a salted butter, a little bit. But you got to keep mashing it until no more buttermilk pours off in the sink. Now I like using parchment paper, but at some point I'm gonna get me one of those like porcelain butter crocks. They keep the butter like upside down in like water, I think. Those look really neat. I'm gonna get one of those at some point. But right now I have parchment paper. So there we go, it's finished. It's about a pound of butter probably, I would think, maybe a little bit less. Wrap that up. And put it in our cooler, all ready to go. All right, now for the cheese, I'm gonna go ahead and put the milk inside of this 3-gallon container here. It's gonna go on the stove. Jaimie has an amazing video on how she made cheese in 30 minutes or less. I'll leave a link in the description below, or there'll be a card above, but you can check out that video. It's a very popular video. So I'm gonna do the same process here. I'm gonna use basically 3 gallons or so. So it'll be almost full by the time I'm done here. Pour all this in. Okay, for about 3 gallons of milk, I'm going to add the appropriate amount of citric acid and stir that around. Now, if you don't have citric acid, you can let your milk spoil. It's the same thing basically. So I'm basically spoiling the milk. Okay, that's how you have to make cheese. Spoil it either with citric acid or let it spoil on its own. You can do that with raw milk, but don't try doing it with store-bought milk. That's dangerous. All right, I'm going to let this heat up to 100 degrees. And after that, I will add my rennet. Okay, we're at 100 degrees. I'm gonna go ahead and add my rennet. Stir it around and take out the thermometer. Turn off the heat and cover it up and come back in 10 minutes and we can start working our cheese. Okay, cheese is done and it's in these little molds, these bowls that I use as molds, and that'll go into something cool so that they'll harden up and I can shred them easy. So now we gotta move on to the eggs and get those hard boiled. First things first, I have a pot of water here. I'm gonna bring this up to a boil and this is where I'm gonna put my eggs in. Now to hard boil eggs, we have the same process every single time and it works great. You basically bring the water up to a boil, put your eggs in, leave them there for 13 minutes, pull them out, and then douse the whole thing inside the sink with cold water for about 5 minutes. And you're constantly pouring cold water over those eggs, and that's going to allow the membrane of inside the shell to contract and allow you to easily pull the shells off the eggs. Now, you always want to make sure you're using eggs that are at least 5 days old, preferably 3 or 5 days old, but preferably a week old or more is fine. So we're doing that. These are a little bit older eggs. They should work fine. So we'll put all these eggs in and then begin our time. I use a spoon because I don't want to crack them. Okay, the water is now boiling again. It's been 13 minutes. I'm going to remove this, turn this off, and drain it. And then go ahead and start running cold water over these eggs. Now this water is super cold water. It's coming out of our tank. It goes underground first, but it's been really cold. We actually had freezing temperatures last night, and we actually had snow on the mountain the night before. So this water is really cold, which is what you want. You want super cold water. Or even if you could put ice in here, that'd be great too. But icy cold water is what you want. Okay, so now that everything's peeled, we're gonna go ahead and pour some vinegar into this jar. These are gonna go into my fridge as snacks for me and the kids, and this is gonna get pickled. And so what we're gonna do first is go ahead and throw some vinegar in this thing about 3/4 of the way up. I'm gonna put about, I don't know, a tablespoon of Redmond's real salt in there. I'm going to throw in about 1 teaspoon of our favorite spice mix in there. The spice mix that we're using for this and for our chicken tonight is on the website. I believe it's the #1 or #2 recipe card that you can purchase on our website. So you can check that out. So I'm going to throw 1 teaspoon of that in there. And then I'll go ahead and top off this jar right about to the top. And then this will get sealed and thrown into our pantry where it'll sit for about 6 to 8 weeks before we can open it and eat it. Okay, so what have we done so far today? We've done bread, we've done salad, we've done cheese, we've done butter, we've done eggs. Now we need to do the roast chicken. So let me show you how we make our roast chicken here on the homestead. Okay, so let me describe the best way I know how on how we like our roast chicken. First thing we do is we cut out the backbone. The backbone gets cut out so it allows you to butterfly the chicken backside down on your pan, and obviously you want to have a rack underneath your pan so that allows the drippings to flow freely underneath. And then what we like is a spice mix. Again, this is the spice mix mixed with olive oil, the spice mix that we sell the recipe for on our website. You can get that spice mix on our website at AmericanHomestead.com. And also some chopped garlic. So there's some chopped garlic pieces in here as well. And I take these, and what I do is I lift up the skin. Like so, the skin of the chicken. What this does is you shove that spice mix and all of that olive oil and the garlic pieces underneath the skin, and then fold everything back over, so it allows that to maintain all the flavor. It just seals it all in, and it cooks the meat that way. It's so good. It's the best roast chicken you'll ever have. And so you can basically get your fingers all up into the breast meat this way. You see that? And so I'll basically just take off these pieces right there where the thighs are, stick my fingers in. I can reach almost everything there, and then do it on the same side. On the other side. Stick my fingers up in here, okay? And then you can keep going up towards the breast on this side, and you're gonna basically use your fingers to push all that spice mix up underneath the skin so that it can marinate as it's cooking. And it just produces the best roast chicken you've ever had. So I'll start on this side first over here. Take a scoopful of this. It's kind of a messy process. And I'm going to try to work it up into that breast area as best as I can. And I'm just going to move it all around. And I'm going to take a couple small handfuls of it to do that. Yeah, it's a very messy process. You're going to get oil everywhere, but that's fine. You can clean it up later. So I'm going to move it all up in there. And then all on the inside of the thighs. All those chunky, see all those chunky pieces of garlic there. And then all on the outside, all underneath the wing. I love wings. That's like my favorite part of a chicken is the wings. So everywhere, in between, everywhere. And then we'll start on the other side. Make sure we fold that skin back over that thigh. And then start on the other side. And then try to shove it up as best as we can up into that breast area. Like that. all over. Get that all over. All up in the drumstick. You can see down the drumstick. I can get down there too. All up in there. And then whatever I have left, I will just rub on the outside of the skin. Like that. Okay, like that. And I'll even take and rub some underneath the bottoms of it without flipping them over. But get that oil everywhere, because that oil is going to really help to cook this bird. So that is going to make such a good roast chicken. There we go. Very good. So, and you can even take some of this and put it on the backbone, because there's a good amount of meat on that backbone. And I'll chew on it for sure once it's cooked. But, okay, we'll cook that alongside there, or one of my kids will eat it. Now we're going to put this in the oven. You want to have the oven already preheated for, what, 350, 375. You can do 400 if you wanted to. But, I mean, I just watch it. Watch it until everything on the outside is golden brown. And you're good to go at that point. I set my oven at 400 degrees, and I usually leave them in there for about an hour. Okay, so I want mine to be crispy on the outside, golden brown, more brownish. I like kind of the darker roast of my chicken. So you guys, if you know how to cook chicken, cook it on, cook it however way you want it. I mean, it's just a chicken. There's lots of recipes out there for chicken in different temperatures and different times in ovens. Obviously, you want to be safe. So I put mine in for 400 degrees in a preheated oven for about an hour. And I just watch it from there and see till it's what I like to see, and then I pull it out. So let's get this guy in the oven, and we'll be ready to eat in about an hour. Listen, you can still be a manly man and cook on a homesteading channel. I cook with a Glock. Okay, homesteaders, so here is the chicken, and we're all ready for dinner. You can see the whole family's gathered. Say hello.
Hello.
So there's the chicken. Roast chicken coming out of the oven, and it smells delicious, looks delicious. If you're looking for a roast chicken idea, give this a try with the recipe cards that are on our website. You can find those at AmericanHomestead.com for the spice mix recipe. Just turns out fantastic every single time. All right, that and the salad, we're ready to eat. Hey, if you're interested, check out our Teespring merch right here. We have it over at teespring.com. Links in the description below. And we'll see you next time on American Homestead. Bye. Hey guys, I'm happy to introduce an American Homestead sponsor, Zervita Zeal. Now, first off, I only accept sponsors from products that I use and believe in. My family uses Zeal mainly because we want to ensure a healthy immune system. You see, it's made up of only whole food concentrates and includes no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. The included sweetener is all natural from fruit and the stevia leaf. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, and it's kosher. In 2018, my youngest son was involved in a bike accident that resulted in the surgical removal of his spleen, and that's an important part of his immune system. And because we live on a farm, you can guess that having a healthy immune system for our family is very important. Some of the included ingredients are beetroot, chicory root, turmeric, moringa, blueberries, cranberry, goji berry, milk thistle, ginseng, alfalfa, broccoli, and so much more. It's these natural ingredients that can easily be made into a powerful and tasty drink that my family can make and feel good about. So sign up and give it a try today. Every purchase you make goes to help the homestead so that we can continue to make great homesteading videos for you. Link is in the description below. Go ahead, give it a try. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.